And let me get up over the scissor trusses here and we'll document further. All right, continuing on with the attic, we're now over the scissor trusses, which is over the vaulted area. These trusses in here look like they're in good shape. They're properly installed. I'm not seeing any gusset plates loose or missing. I'm not seeing any cracked wood members or wood cords. Not seeing any issues with the roof deck. Other than a couple of the nails are rusted. I'm not seeing any drip stains per se in this insulation. And well, yes, I am here too. This is harder to see, but it is here. So we are getting excess moisture. You can see the rust on some of the nails here. So obviously, again, get the attic ventilation corrected. I'm not seeing any other issues though. Your insulation, rolled fiberglass, and I would recommend blowing more up over this. Back when the house was built, it was acceptable to only use 9 inches, which is only R30. Nowadays they're hitting R50. R38, you could at least, I would recommend at least blowing more insulation up here to hit at least R38, if not R50. And you can do that with blowing loose blown insulation up on top of this. We do have a insulated canned light / non-insulated canned light, depends on the installation and how they did it. It looks like to me it's an insulated canned light. There's no insulation over it, and that's going to be a fair amount of heat loss, so I would recommend putting insulation over top of that. No other issues observed. This is the basement section of the report, and we're going to start down in the family room. All the outlets look good. They're grounded 3-prong. Your windows operated fine. They appear to be in good shape. Supply registers are up high. Cold air returns down low, so that's going to be the most efficient way to circulate the air. Around this sink, this outlet's GFI protected, and so is this one. However, this one is not, and I would recommend adding that to the list if you're going to keep the sink here. Your outlet down here is dedicated for a fridge, so that's why it's not GFI protected. Your bar sink is operating fine, draining properly. I'm not seeing any leaks. Underneath, you do have a P-trap. There are shut-off valves. I'm not seeing any leaks at the supply or waste lines. Cabinetry and countertop appear to be all right. Where your TV is, this is where it was cut out, and they basically built in around it into the closet. Now, of course, you have flat screen TVs, so however long that TV lasts, then after that you're probably going to want to take all this drywall back out and this framing. Up underneath here you can actually see some of the foundation. Appears to be in good shape. You've got engineered I-joists up underneath here. Not seeing any mold, not smelling any moisture or any musty smell. You got a cover you want to put on that opening there on the junction box. You do have rim joist insulation. Not seeing any issues underneath here. Back out into the back corner bedroom. We do have an egress window. Appears to be proper. Not seeing any issues with that. A nice closet in here. There is a cold air return right behind the door. And then going up the stairs here, your tile entry appears to be fine from the garage. Stairs going up are uniform, handrail secure. Overall, your basement floor or basement foundation appears to be in good shape. Not seeing any mold growth or any signs of water penetration, so I do believe it is a dry basement at this point. No other issues observed. This is the electrical section of the report. We have an underground service line coming into the house. The meter appears to be in good condition. It is a 120 240 volt system. Your raceway going into the home appears to be fine. However, they did not box around the vinyl siding, and it does not look like it's sealed there, so you want to get it sealed around, at least with caulk, if not boxing it around, and I'll cover that in the exterior section so you understand what I'm talking about. Your ground wire does run down, clamps onto the ground rod. That appears to be properly installed. And the one thing with all the soil settling here is you can see where this pipe used to be. It used to be up flush or even in a little further, and you can see where the sun's been hitting it and it's pulled it down. So it's settled about a couple of inches. And what you want to pay attention to there is if it gets to the point where it starts pulling this meter sideways or off the house, what that's doing is exerting a lot of pressure on those wires, and when those service entrance cables start pulling apart, there's going to be a lot of arcing. So if you start seeing this box dipping down or pulling off, call OPPD to get them out here, and what they're going to have to do is dig down, excavate down where the underground service lines are, and relay them so they can relieve the stress that's been put on them from the ground settling. So right now it looks fine. You probably have plenty of movement left, but just keep an eye on it. Otherwise, no other issues observed. Continuing on with the electrical section of the report, we're in the utility room on the back wall. We have a breaker system here, and it does appear to be about a 200 amp box. It does have a 200 amp main disconnect. Multi-strand copper service entrance cables coming into the panel appear to be sized properly for 200 amps. Your raceway is not sealed, so I would recommend sealing it just to improve the energy efficiency of the house. Your wire sizing comparative to the breaker sizing does appear to properly match up. I'm not seeing any signs of overfusing, no melted sheathing, no burnt wiring, no double taps. Everything in this panel does appear to be proper. I take that back. There's one double tap right here, but that breaker is designed for it, so that's fine. The one issue I have is when you put the cover back on, there's two slot covers that are missing down here, and anybody, including your kids, could stick something in there and get all 200 amps through their body. So take 2 seconds, have a licensed electrician put the slot covers back on, and make that safe. No other issues observed. Okay, I put the cover back on so you can see what slot covers missing look like, and if you look back in there, you can actually see the bar, the main bar that everything is tied onto, and if you were to touch that, that's what you would get 200 amps through your body. So the ground does run up and over, clamps onto a UFA rod. That appears to be proper, and as far as the lights and outlets are concerned, I'll defer those comments to the interior section of the report. This is the plumbing section of the report. And we have what appears to be a 3/4 inch copper supply line coming in for the main. Your main shutoff valve is the blue one here, and you can see your ground wire is bonded properly around the meter. Your meter, of course, and then running up, you've got a drain valve for your main line. You've got your secondary shutoff valve with the duct tape on it, and then you've got a drain line for your sprinkler system and your shutoff valve for the sprinkler system. It is turned off because when you turn this on, water just shoots out that pipe on the outside of the wall here, and that's what that pipe is for. So I'm not sure if there used to be a sprinkler system or if they just never got around to installing it. So FYI. I'm not seeing any leaks up underneath here in this tiny area. So it looks like the plumbing is installed properly. Let me go into the utility room. We'll document further. Continuing on with the plumbing section of the report, we're now in the utility room. We've got your main PVC waste line. It is protected with insulation around the base. You got your clean out cap right here, and your PVC waste line does appear to be properly installed. Not seeing any issues with it, not seeing any leaks. And then you pick up some of your copper supply lines coming in here. They appear to be fine, appear to be properly installed. Again, not seeing any leaks here either. Over to your water heater, you've got your cold water shutoff valve. I'm not seeing any holes fitting through it, and this is an electric water heater. It is protected with armored cable for the wiring, and this tank itself was installed in 2006. It is a 50-gallon tank. Your temperature pressure relief valve here is dated 2006. You want to change that out every 7 years, so next year is the magic year to do that. There is a spring inside here that gets corroded, and worst case scenario, if it's corroded bad enough, it can't release the pressure buildup when the tank needs it to, and it can lead to the tank exploding. More likely scenario is it'll release the pressure buildup, but it won't be able to reset, and then you have water constantly running on your floor. So get it changed out when the time comes. Your temperature pressure relief valve discharge line behind the glass here looks like it does terminate properly within 6 inches of the floor, so that's proper. And then not sure if this is where the anode rod is or not, but the anode rod in here should be changed at every 6 years as well. Floor drain appears to be fine. I'm not seeing any indication it's backed up. As far as the plumbing goes, I'm not seeing any other issues. You do have a sump pit here. It looks like the lid's never been taken off since it was the new construction, and you can't see inside it to see if there's any water in there right now. It is covered over with concrete on the edges, so you'd have to break it out. But there is no sump pit or sump pump. No other issues observed.